Oh, the elevator. That's sad. Pussy. Yeah, you can't kill people drunk, bro, or sick. I'm about to be 28 or 27. Sorry.
Strength
SFK
and honor.
30, I don't know, BFD is probably 30, 32. 32 is BFD the highest, and Shadow Fiend Keep is 30, so we're good.
Inventory is full.
Go forth to victory.
I don't know, I don't even know people's names, so I can't tell you. I think a 20 warrior died and a 19 mage yesterday or this morning, something like that. Looks like there's a lot less, or more 20 people now.
Greetings, traveler. Goodbye.
What then? SFK. We got Angler. Warlock. I don't want to tank it, bro. SFK is dangerous to take. I'm not next level. Like, and I got no shield. I can't go to fucking Wailing Caverns to get that good ass shield for all the armor. Because we already did it. If I can find a good one hand and a shield, yeah, we could. But until then, Iron left. I was trying to ask me if I want to do it, so I'm not taking. You get fucking Angler in there to take. He's max level for it.
Go with honor.
Blood and thunder. I don't understand that, because we did dungeons without him already, and he's just never been in any of ours. you got no warrior. Do you want people to do a dungeon? You know how much more risky that is? Or druid. Like, you gotta think of the consideration of like what classes we got and if they got the gear optimal to tank anyway. If they even are shamans. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, we all want to do it, but then again, no tanks. Proper tank.
Strength! What do you need? Strength. Speak. Farewell.
Glory to the Horde. May your
What do you
blades
need?
never dull.
Dabu.
What are you looking for?
Victory! Mukra!
Dude. Watching a movie and playing hardcore, pretty tough, man.
What can I help you with? Strength and honor.
Blacksmithing and then mining. It's gonna be horrible, but I'm just gonna stick with it. There's not really anything I can craft with blacksmithing unless it's strength and speed or faster, and I can't get it out
Dabu.
35 bucks or 40 bucks. So it's kind of horrible. I should have just went leatherworking because you can still make mail. But I don't want to drop mining now because I can get Arcanite bars and make my Arcanite Reaper and go access because, you know. So, you know, think about the long run, then I'm good. But then again, the short run, fucking shit.
For the Horde.
Short, medium, shit. But the long run, at least I can mine my Arcanite bars. I can get Arcanite Reaper, Lionheart, and shit on this character. Be an actual enhanced character if I make it there. So yeah, pretty garbage. But after I fucking figured it all out and looked at all the crafting things, I noticed I did a shit decision. Yeah. No. You can't. But, yeah. I mean, yeah, like it sucks. Yeah.
I'm out of range. I don't have a target. I can't loot that.
Boys, I was gonna go pick up the quests, but I just realized you guys have them, right? The ones like in the top rock place here. Like right above where you enter the dungeon, you guys picked up those 2 quests.
I need a target.
Talking about? Oh, are you? Is this not the group for Wailing Caverns? Or am I retarded? Okay, sorry, I'm fucking retarded. Alright, guys, good luck out there. Ciao.
That was great. We should have played along. I was thinking about it, but there's a TV in the background.
It's too far away. I can't loot that. Need to get closer. I can't do that yet.
Yeah, you did. Coming off at 9. Thank you.
Throw hall. Go forth to victory. McGraw. May your blades never dull.
I can't use that. I can't use that.
Throw hall.
I'm already like 5 bars in this level too.
Strength.
I'm just a speeder, man. I'm just on speed.
Blood and thunder. Go with honor.
You changed my pants, bro. I got a whole green setup almost, besides my fucking pants and boots. Looking like fur goblins.
Loktar. Strength. Blood and thunder. For the Horde.
What be on your mind? You be careful, man. Greetings, man. Spirits be with you, man. What you want? Be seeing ya.
Don't die. Be sure you don't die from the lead out there too that you got the wave at or whatever. Salute. Like flare that salute or salute and flare and shit. Something 3 times. Weird.
What's up?
Hello.
I'm back.
You die?
Nope. I was playing League of Legends with some friends.
Oh, and you died, and then you came here to die.
I just got out of 5 wins in a row, so
Oh, so now you feel confident.
yeah, I'm confident. I'm gonna start my recording back for 1 hour. For 1 hour and a half, it took me 7 gigabytes of memory. It's insane. Oh well, I'm gonna upload them to YouTube eventually. And then I'm not even gonna edit them. And I might need to buy a new external hard drive.
Hey guys, Ultra Sage Potion and some Thistle Tea. And make sure you have a dagger.
So, did you guys die?
Also,
Hell
make sure that you
no.
have lockpicking
That's
at 75 or
rude.
you will not be able to open the
Why are you
chest.
gonna come in here
from
and
the
ask us if we died?
You're playing Horde or Alliance?
Ford.
NA or EU? I don't remember.
And
Nice. You got any guild invites?
everyone.
From
in
there,
the-
head to the
guild
northernmost
is
part
invited
in the
in
Barrens,
Ironslord.
just to the right of the road to Ashenvale.
Very good.
Once here,
Then invite
make sure that
somewhere?
the Taskmaster
I mean,
is
I
close
don't
enough
mind not having
and
one,
toss up 2 shots from your
If
flare
you're
gun.
new-
Then as you move closer,
I'm gonna.
Ford Bob.
I might just ask Targ tomorrow or something. Wait, tomorrow I have a randomizer race. I can't do that. Maybe later. I'm doing some.
I just went and did Ani today. He came back, played.
I almost drowned. Oops. Gotta pay attention to that. I don't have water breathing yet. I don't have potions for it yet. When you think about it, water breathing potion is so good, and it's like, and it's not even a high level of alchemy to do.
go
like
ahead and salute
75.
him from a distance. Or make a macro and
Yeah.
just smack that macro a few times as you're moving closer. When he shows green, it's safe to move
Three,
in.
3 more level, and I can get my daggers. I can do dagger training in
Once you've
Orgrimmar,
accepted the
right?
quest, go ahead and pickpocket the foreman on the left of the building for the key.
Big thing.
And
You can
get
ignore the 2
dagger-
guards
wait,
patrolling.
shit.
They are not part of the quest.
Yeah, I should get dagger training in Orgrimmar.
You made
Move
sword
into the
training,
first
right?
room and
Um,
ambush the
last
mutated
Uh,
drones.
Shaman.
There will be 2 of them,
Shaman.
but ambush
Yeah,
will
I'm
instantly
running.
kill
I'm
one.
running
It's
dagger
going
Or
well.
training.
ambush the
Right.
first and
Oh, you're
sprint
gonna
out
get
to
Yeah, I
the
do
second,
enhanced
move
dagger
back in and
shield.
ambush the second when ready.
That's what I like to do. I don't
Once you
like
get to the second
going
floor,
to
use
Enders.
any combo
It's not
point rupture on
reliable
the
enough.
patrollers. This will take away a large part of
I
their
don't
health.
know. I'm level 27.
You can sap the first one, rupture
Yeah,
the
but
second
I
one,
don't
and
really
kill
like
before
it.
the sap
I
expires.
mean, and the shield is gonna give me blood chance, so it's dope. More survivability.
If you get a good shield.
I'm good with the white shield. I can always try and find a vendor that has a green one. I don't.
Yeah, I tried to do Wailing Caverns for the shield there while I was tanking it. Shops. I can't do it again.
Hey, there's good drops for druids and shaman in Wailing Cavern.
But we got rogues that take it all.
Yeah, you know the serpent set is really good.
Once you get to the third floor, you'll be pulling the lookouts
You know,
aside
usually
and using
it's
any
the
combo
druid set,
point
but
of
it's pretty much
eviscerate
an
on them,
enhanced shaman set
and this will
too.
instantly turn them into a
yeah.
slime, making them massively more manageable.
Anyway, who played druids? It's well, a lot of people, I think.
Seems like more people are leveling shamans than druids.
Finally,
Yeah,
when
well,
you get to the top
always
floor,
die
It's because-
before like
it's
20.
because,
This will
shamans
instantly
have
reduce
all
his
that
hit points to
utility.
1/2.
You
It
know,
will still be a bit of a
like those
challenge at this
totems are
point,
really good.
thus the healing potion and the thistle tea I suggested at the start.
I don't remember what's it called. You know, the fire totem that cute
Yeah.
fireballs.
Searing Tome.
Yeah, searing totem.
And make
It's
sure
a
you
really,
have a
really
dagger.
good dot.
I don't even use that.
Yeah, you should.
It takes too much mana.
Also, make sure that
Well,
you have
the
lockpicking
only
at
spell I
75 or you
use-
will not be able to
The
open the chest on
only
the top.
spell I use is.
Ashen Veil. Once here, make sure that the Taskmaster is close enough and toss up 2 shots from your flare gun. Then as you move closer, go ahead and salute him from a distance, or make a macro and just smack that macro a few times as you're moving closer. When he shows green, it's safe to move in.
What's on your mind?
Once you've accepted the quest, go ahead and pickpocket the foreman on the left of the building for the key.
Be good.
You can ignore the 2 guards patrolling. They are not part of the quest. Move into the first room and ambush the mutated drones. There will be 2 of them, but they are not part of the quest. On the left of the building for the key. You can ignore the 2 guards. The quest, go ahead and pickpocket the foreman on the left of the building for the key. You can ignore the 2 guards patrolling. They are not part of the quest. Move into the first room and ambush the mutated drones. There will be 2 of them, but ambush will instantly kill 1 of them. Or ambush the first and sprint out to safety, and move back in and ambush the second when ready.
Isn't ready yet. Not ready yet.
Once you get to the second floor, use any combo point rupture on.
That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet.
For all those professions.
Wait, no, wait.
Darn. Well, getting to the entrance is pretty hard. It's pretty hard.
That's the second. Wait, that's funny. Really?
What? First hardcore death.
Because he's level 17 going in, like, the first dungeon room. Meaning a guy died in a dungeon, the first guy that died in a dungeon. He should have waited till 20. Like we all did, you wait till 20.
Yeah, at 17 you do reach Fire Chasm once. There's pretty good loot for caster in that, if I remember right. Why? I guess that guy's a masochist.
Because he thought he had enough escape, but mobs resist too much on mages at 17. Unless he's a healer, that's the only reason he'll bring the fucking 17.
Yeah, if he was a priest, could have just tried to bubble and run away. So like, did you do your water totem quest? Oh no, you're not level 20 yet. Oh yeah, you're
Not ready
right.
yet.
You're level 20 if you're going to Wailing Caverns. But yeah, I'm probably not gonna do my water totem quest before like level 40.
No, I'm 27. I already did Wailing Caverns, but no, I didn't do my water totem quest. It's not useful to.
Yeah, for solo leveling, it's not useful.
It's not even useful in dungeons. It's because you have to keep laying and it wastes too much mana at that point in time. No fight lasts over 2 minutes, so you don't really need to do it.
Yeah, but like if you were healing spec, would be useful to get it for dungeons if you were like trio leveling or something.
Just because water totem, you gotta remember the minute it takes to drop it for basically a 3-mob kill, which takes 45 seconds. You will not get that much regen.
Yeah, no, you need that. You need that for like cleaving and stuff.
Yeah, the only reason you're gonna do that if you can repeat the dungeon over and over, and you're gonna
Yeah, I'm not gonna pick it up until 60 if I survive to 60. Which as a shaman, I should have a pretty good chance of surviving to 60 if I don't play like an ass. But if I just don't do any instances and stuff, I have a higher chance of survival.
Nah, you got a high chance no matter what, dude. Like, every class does as long as you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and you got that improved spirit wolf to run away from stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's alright, because I got improved spirit wolf, but then again, it's only 1 second. It's like 1 second cast.
For the horde.
Yeah, but it's to run away from stuff, so.
Yeah, but you can only run away if you get the cast off, and then you lay fucking
for spirit wolf, like I think it's the same like with cat form. Like if you're less than 10 seconds from a mob, you just don't lose it. Like if it takes over 20 seconds to go to a
That
mob, you use
ability
it.
isn't ready yet.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird rule like that. I don't remember it exactly. Oh no, I'm in combat. What can I do? I'm being attacked by level 1 critter. What will I do? Oh shit, it hurts a lot actually. I'm gonna have to set up my macros, like some mouse over stuff. Ding! Level 8. Soon I'm gonna go on the Echo Isles and try not to die to stupid Zenzel. Or whatever it's called. Is it Zenzel? No, it's Zelazane. Where did I take Zenzel from? So I don't know if my run would count because I don't have pre-level 5 recorded, like those 2 minutes from 1 to 5. So I don't know. I didn't die, but once. Yeah, probably, but I wonder if it would count if I was.
Every death counts.
I mean, like from 1 to 5, the chance of dying are like non-existent, I think.
Yeah.
So even if I don't have the first 5 level recorded, it's not the end of the world.
Sug sug.
I mean, I saw someone die at level 2 once. But the guy was AFK near them, near the
Go
tiny
for
demons
the victory.
in Val of Trial.
I can't do that yet.
Backstabs. Okay, yeah. For rogues and stuff? Right? Yeah, like, at level 1, if you can use dagger, the skinning knife is actually not so bad. It's a decent weapon for Valley of Trial if you can get it there. I don't remember though.
You might as well just buy the 30 copper level 1 dagger, then they
Yeah,
buy
the stiletto.
No, the stiletto's like level 4 or 5 or 5.
Yeah.
I think.
Right now I'm running with a cudgel. How do you pronounce that? Cudgel? Cudgel? Whatever. I make a lot of tiny mates. Because for some reason the game doesn't want to give me the ability to use a tiny knife instead of a tiny hammer. I remember on private server I was tanking for raids. I was doing warrior with a dagger. Truck warrior with dagger.
Aqua's Razor.
Was freaking good. Yeah. And when I tell people on like Herd Fury that I was doing that, they were like laughing their ass up and like they don't know what optimization mean, I'm pretty sure. Because it's the highest trip generation you can do with a warrior is with that dagger.
Yeah, the speed on it. 1.3.
Yeah, people don't know what optimizing mean. Like, yeah, I was tanking with a dagger. They were like, what are you, a dumbass? And I'm like, why? It's fucking OP. Why wouldn't I do it? As far as weapon go, daggers are pretty OP. Earthbind Totem. I hope the Earthbind Totem you use is just the level 1 version.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, it's just 8 mana for the level 1 version, and it's enough of a slow to run away from most things. Oh my god. So yeah, tomorrow at 12 I have a Zelda Ocarina of Time randomizer race. Well, it's a race that I missed that I'm doing again.
What Asheville knobs? I think I already did it, yeah. They stun, but yeah. They can stun you, so, but yeah, you can.
Zug Zug.
Which one are you talking about? You talking about the name mobs? You can, yeah, you can do the saber, the bear, and the other one.
What's with all the people trying to group with me, man? I clearly, when I clear hardcore in my name and I'm doing a hardcore challenge.
Happens a lot. I just got an
Like,
auto decliner.
okay, it's not as obvious as my Alliance character, which is named Hardcore Bob, but this one is still it still have HC in the name.
Of them, or ambush the first and sprint out to safety, and move back in and ambush the second when ready.
Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. I need a target.
So there's a guy asking me about the class, because it's YouTube game. And he said he's gonna warrior because you can't go wrong about a warrior. I'm like, World of Warcraft is the game where you can't go wrong with a warrior. It's like the game where warrior is like the hardest class to play.
Once you get to the second floor, use any combo point rupture on the patrollers. This will take away a large part of their health pool. You can sap the first one, rupture the second one, and kill it before the sap expires.
Yeah, it should be 30 to 31 tomorrow. We can get off in a second.
Where's Marine Scout? You are now a deader.
Should I just leave the guild and psych them all out and then get back in? Look at 40. As soon as you hit 40,
Once you get
just
to
leave
the
the
third
guild.
floor, you'll be pulling the lookouts
And
inside
then
and using any
joking.
combo point of eviscerate on them. And this
You
will
wanna give
instantly
them a
turn them
heart
into a
attack?
slime,
A heart
making
attack?
them massively
Like
more
at 40
manageable.
hardcore, you leave the guild, you lose. They lose the single one level 40 they have. Because a lot of people seems to die at level 40. They stop paying attention, I guess. Or they try to
Finally,
do
when you get
some
to the
chat
top
with a
floor,
bunch of
ambush
idiots.
Gallywix. Warlocks. This will instantly reduce his hit points to 1/2. It will still be a bit of a
No,
challenge
it's
at
not
this
like
point,
this in Canada,
thus
it's
the
harder
healing
to-
potion and the Thistle Tea I suggested at the start.
I bet they tried to do Arcadis. Oh, no, is it Arcadis? The one in what's it called? Dungeon and Burning Steps.
Wait, stop. So that's nothing's over there.
Oh,
You
is
go
it
into
the-
BRM, and there you probably talk about Ornament or something.
Yeah, I'm talking about Element. My bad. Yeah, is it Arcadis?
No,
Last
it's
boss?
in
No,
Cardiac
it-
area, which is a bad land.
No, the last boss is Arcadis. It's not Algalon.
Oh, I
Algalon
don't
is
know
someone
the
else.
last boss thing. I don't.
Yeah, I did my first ultimate at level 40 on my Warlock. And it's insane. I didn't land anything on that guy aside of my curses. So like we were a bunch of level 40 doing it, and we managed to kill him anyway. It was an insane fight. Like it was crazy.
Who just died? Wasn't he like only level 8 or something?
How do you die at level 8? I mean, there's ouch.
Yeah, I know. There's just so like.
You
'Cause
got
I
it.
find it so easy, man. I'm 27 already, and I only died one time at 12 because I was just being stupid, and I knew it. Oh no, I think his Onyxia buff is going off because Onyxia just went away, and he just used it from like 2 to fucking 9 or 4 to 9.
It's so dumb. I can't buy vials for my potions.
That
Oh, no, I
ability isn't ready yet.
I was like,
Don't have
there's no
enough
vials in
energy.
Razor Hill.
Not enough energy.
I feel dumb now. Okay, do element
Don't
healing
have
potions.
enough energy.
It's-
Ready yet. That ability isn't
Being able
ready
to do your own eating pod is real nice.
It's funny, my guild. We do BW on Monday and Tuesday. You guys, don't worry, you don't have to do BW on Monday because it's Mardi Gras fucking weekend. People are still fucking drunk, so we'll do it Tuesday and Wednesday so you can keep playing your hardcore. I go, fuck yeah!
I wonder, like, I really wonder if it would be possible to kill Onyxia with 3 people.
Yeah.
It's too far away.
Paladin, Hunter, and
I can't do that
Boy.
yet.
Oh, so people already did it?
Not ready
didn't
yet.
have to
Not
be a
enough
later
energy.
expansion.
The
Or not
ability
expansion,
isn't
but
ready yet.
Steve AQ gets.
Mm.
I'm out of range.
Oh, the Horde can't do it. but
I
Paladins
can't do
can.
that yet. I don't have enough energy. Not
So-
enough energy.
Stormclaw Totem, should I get that?
Yeah.
It's a
Don't
taunt,
have
I should
enough
get it.
energy.
I'm gonna get Root
Ready
Shock.
yet.
Stormclaw.
I usually
Oh.
use Stone Call in the beginning of full sometimes as the only totem, just because it only lasts 6 seconds or whatever it is, like
Yeah.
really short, 15 seconds, and it basically taunts every 3 seconds. So
Yeah,
the longer the mob will hit it like 3 to 4 times before it dies, and it gives you the time to kill one mob or run.
I got a new major DPS increase. I got Lightning Shield.
Yeah, that takes a lot of mana in the beginning. I didn't use it. I still don't use that. Much.
Yeah, it's
That
45
ability
mana.
isn't ready yet.
Yeah.
It's a little bit over half of what Rogue Biter. No, yeah, it's about half what over what Rogue Biter used. But if I don't use Stone Skin Totem, it should be good.
I only use the lightning
Not
shield
enough
really
energy.
when I'm facing like cat mobs. Things they got like
I
one
don't have
tank
enough
attack
energy.
speed.
I can't do that
A lot
yet.
more efficient.
Man, walking to Senjin is a pain. It's so far away. Please give me a mount. Or pre-20 wolf form. Wolf
Ready
form
yet.
pre-20.
That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough
I
energy.
mean,
I don't have enough energy. Not
let's,
enough energy.
let's pick up the cheetah is level
Do
20,
that
right?
yet. I don't have enough energy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So the only one that get their their movement speed boost really early on is druids, I guess.
No, druids don't get.
Oh no, right.
Get
They need
hunters.
to. They need to
Hunters-
get talent to
Hunters and
improve their thing.
shamans.
Right.
Then they go to, I think theirs is 30 or 40 or 30
Oh.
or something like that to get
So
there.
I guess that
Thirty.
the fastest people early on is rogues with sprint.
Yeah.
Not enough energy.
I mean, when I play rogue, I use to pop sprint every
Don't
time he's
have
off cooldown.
enough
Just
energy.
to
That ability
faster.
isn't ready.
I saved it because
Ready
a
yet.
lot. It's for the fat PE.
Not enough
I always
energy.
try to improve the
Don't have enough
Right.
energy.
Gets you out of
So-
crowd controls.
it's time to go to the Echo Isles. Get melted by Zalzane, probably.
Yeah. They'll go away eventually. Summon a decurse.
Yeah,
and
the
then
Zenzel
go
stuff.
somewhere.
The Zenzel stuff is annoying.
No. Yeah.
Once Gallywix is dead, make sure to pick lock the chest behind it. Return to the Cleft of Shadow in Orgrimmar and turn in your quest. At this point, you have basically completed the quest, and it will just be a little bit of runaround from here. So off we go to Torin Mill. Once here, talk to the quest giver and sit around and wait for him to make you a remedy for your poison. And that's all there is.
Rogue
If you like this video,
poisons are
and
awesome.
you want to see more content on Classic WoW, please let me know in the comments below. I'll
I
also
don't.
be
I never
actively
use
streaming
the.
1 to 60 once
I've
Classic
almost
gets
never used the
released,
damage increase
and I'll
one.
also be testing multiple rogues on the beta until then. Please don't forget to like,
The,
comment,
you're
subscribe
you're
below.
gonna spend like
Ultra safe out.
you're gonna spend like 10 minutes in front of a vendor just leveling your poison to max. Yeah. It's a neat little profession.
Alright, I'm getting off here, guys. I'm about 27 and a half on most. Like, and then I'll probably hit 30 tomorrow. I can do all of it by 32.
You want to do
Or
17 to 30
SFK.
tomorrow?
27.
Okay, you're 27, right?
Yes, I'm
That's
gonna
why
get 30
I heard
to
17.
SFK, and
It's like
then
what?
do 32. I can do BFD too. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, Black Phantom Depth, you can go there at 25. It's 24.
yeah, but max level easier. Not
Yeah.
suggest.
Because the last boss poison is annoying.
The last boss can get kite, so he ain't a big deal, and poison, you can remove poison. It's just the only hardest boss there is the one that summon all the ads.
Alright. Yeah, I know which one.
We've been seeing what you wanna, got us cornered right now. Falling asleep from our vanity might cost us our lives. I hear they're getting closer, their hearts are sending chills down my spine. Our time is running out now, we're coming down the hills from behind. Why don't we start killing? searching all night long, but there's no trace to be found. It's like they all have just vanished, but I know they're around. I feel it getting closer. The house is sending chills down my spine. Time is running out now. They're coming down the hills from behind. When we start killing, it's all coming down right now. From the night that we created, I wanna be awakened somehow. When we start killing, it all will be falling down. From the hell that we're in, all we are is fading away. When we start killing, when we start
Patience. Discipline. Victory for Sylvanas. Beware the living. What is it?
Hello? Dark Lady, watch over you. What now? I haven't got all day.
This is Mike. Mike was sort of a nerd. He won a stock picking contest at 11.
Wow.
And then one day, Mike found himself teed up for a big job in finance.
Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy.
Full service at your local co-op means extra service at no extra cost.
Too far away.
We'll fill your tank,
Ready.
clean your windshield, and get you on your way. And full service is part of why co-ops are able to provide good jobs to more than 25,000 Western Canadians. Whether it's rainy in Chilliwack, sunny in Regina, cold in Edmonton, or even colder in Winnipeg, full service. It's a co-op thing.
I don't have enough energy. That ability isn't ready yet.
Hello?
I can't do that.
Come on out of there, whoever you are.
Not enough energy.
I'm sorry, lady.
Don't have
I need the house.
not enough energy.
Yeah.
I'm out of range. Ready. I don't have enough energy.
We sit in the sun, in maze. We sleep. And we dream. Each of us dying slowly. The prison of our minds. We sit in the sun, in maze. We sleep. And we dream. Each of us dying slowly. The prison of our minds.
Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy.
Yeah.
Enough energy. Don't have enough energy. Ready.
Is it a new world, or will it consume us all?
It's too far away. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy.
I demand to know what's going on in my house.
Not enough energy.
Yeah.
I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Not ready yet.
Is it a new world, or will it consume us all?
I'm ability isn't ready yet. Don't have enough energy. Need to get closer. Energy. Do that. Ready. Do that. Don't have enough energy. Ability isn't ready yet. Ready yet. energy. That ability isn't ready yet. I don't have enough energy.
Stupidity, rewarded, addicted, generation. 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 Stupidity, addicted, generation. Stupidity, rewarded, addicted, generation. Stupidity, rewarded, addicted, generation. Stupidity, rewarded, addicted, generation. Stupidity, rewarded, addicted, generation.
I need to get closer.
Downward evolution.
music for the crowd instead of yourself, you're fucked. Anytime you're playing music for the crowd, you're fucked.
Energy. Ability isn't ready yet. Ready yet. Ability isn't ready yet. Don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy.
Anytime you're playing music for the crowd instead of yourself, you're fucked. Anytime you're playing music for the crowd instead of yourself, you're fucked.
Ready yet. I don't have enough energy. It's too far away. Ready yet. I can't do that. I can't do that.
don't have enough energy. I can't loot that. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. 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 It's too far away.
I am forsaken. Watch your back.
What do you need? For the Horde. Sug. Go with honor. I'm listening.
Hey, oh hey! Yo! Put it in the chat! Stop. I'm gonna cry. He hurt. Guys, you think it's a joke. You think this is some sort of joke. You think I'm heartbroken that my friend would do this to me. That's all, okay? You guys can take whatever sort of stance you want on this situation. I am just personally heartbroken. No. Oh my god. Ah! Oh. Uh-oh. I got oh, it's logged. Oh my gosh. Guys. Can't open fuck.
5 minutes later.
Paghi the chat! Paghi the chat! It's uscito. Ah, oh, the is there. Oh my god. Ah. No. I gotta run. Oh! 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 Poggers in the chat. Poggers in the chat. No way. It's okay, man. Who got the fucking chest, huh? Who got the chest? Poggers in the chat. Let's play once again. Rank 1 play. One more time. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's so mean.
Victory!
Trisket, go toppingless.
Paul, what are you doing?
Eating a Trisket?
This week in the news, game development is difficult.
But, you know, that could only excuse so much. Hey folks, this is Riker with a gaming news wrap-up video where we discuss the happenings of the week. This week's topics include an old build of cancelled StarCraft Ghost emerging onto the internet, a revisit of the Wolcen launch discussion, some new proof that we're getting a Diablo Netflix series, and more. As always, discussion timestamps can be found in the video description below, but right before you skip ahead, just a quick reminder to ring that sub notification bell to be alerted to new Saturday episodes and stay up to date with gaming news highlights. Let's get things kicked off with some Path of Exile news. It's been announced that Metamorph League will be ending on March 9th on PC and a week later on console. And the new league will be announced next week, February 25th. If all goes according to schedule, the next league will start on March 13th, but that's a tentative date. Given it'll be a Friday the 13th, I wonder if we're in for some kind of spooky league. But I encourage you folks to sound off with your theories on the next PoE League in the comments below. On to a story about StarCraft Ghost. It seems the ghost of the dead game has come to haunt Blizzard because some people have gotten their hands on an old Xbox built for it, and footage has started making its way onto the internet. This is new StarCraft Ghost footage, not the old footage from a decade ago. More. Now, one thing to bear in mind is that a lot of these videos are getting taken down. But like the mythical Hydra, whenever one head is chopped off, two seem to re-emerge. I'll try to pop some links in the video description, but odds are by the time you click them, they'll be gone. So I do encourage you to do your own sleuthing if you're interested in seeing the footage. Now, according to reports, it was an Xbox dev kit that was anonymously leaked. It's been disseminated throughout the net now, and different people are getting a hold of it, playing it, and putting up the footage. Now, as for who leaked it and why, we don't know, but it does offer a glimpse at a game that was highly anticipated for a long time. StarCraft Ghost was first announced in September 2002. Slated for a 2003 release, the game was then consistently delayed. Now, it should be noted that this game was not being made by Blizzard directly, but rather contracted out to Nihilistic Software. In 2004, Blizzard transferred the game over from Nihilistic Software over to Swinging Ape Studios, and then in 2005, bought Swinging Ape Studios entirely, bringing them into the Blizzard fold, similar to what they did with Condor and Diablo. But in 2006, Blizzard announced the game was being put on indefinite hold. And a few months later, a novel, StarCraft Ghost Nova, was released. This raised the question, was this novel being written in order to release alongside the game, or was it written to replace the game? Then in 2007, Rob Pardo, who was at the time vice president of game design at Blizzard, suggested that Blizzard still had interest in finishing StarCraft Ghost. And in an interview, he stated, quote, "With that game, we were very, very stubborn. I still believe in that game and the characters, but we were not able to execute at the level we wanted to. Rather than work on that, we had to focus on our other games. We're hoping one day to return to it." Then during a presentation in 2008, Rob Pardo and Blizzard president Mike Morhaime listed Blizzard's cancelled games, and that list did not include StarCraft Ghost. When asked about StarCraft Ghost in an interview by MTV, Blizzard co-founder Frank Pierce said this, quote, "It never was technically cancelled. It's just a focus thing for us right now. We've got a finite amount of development resources and a lot of different things that we want to focus on, so there's always a possibility. But right now, we're spending our time on World of Warcraft and our expansion Wrath of the Lich King and StarCraft 2. Then it took until 2014 for us to get confirmation from Mike Morhaime that StarCraft Ghost was cancelled. Now, since then, it's further been suggested that part of the reason that StarCraft Ghost was put on hold was because it was getting close to the end of the current generation of consoles. The Xbox 360 was about to be released, and it would take a lot of development resources to move the game onto the upcoming generation of consoles, when World of Warcraft was exploding and that really needed Blizzard's attention. And while I am a bigger fan of StarCraft than Warcraft, I think Blizzard did make the correct move in allocating its resources to Warcraft, given how important that franchise has been to the company. But when we bring back to memory the summer 2019 leak that Blizzard had cancelled another StarCraft shooter project, it does make me sad that in some alternate universe, there are more StarCraft games out there with new, fresh, different experiences that we'll never get to play. On to some Wolcen news. In last week's video, I seemed dismissive of criticisms regarding Wolcen's launch. But that video was recorded less than 24 hours after the game's launch, and the full extent of the situation was not yet apparent to me. I thought that the worst issue at the time was that servers had gone down due to an unforeseen load of over 62,000 concurrent players, a number which this week attained over 127,000. And since it's unfortunately not uncommon for even AAA devs to fail to have enough server capacity when their games first launch, I was forgiving and understanding of the dev situation, these being indie developers and a relatively small team that started off as 4 people and by release grew to about 50. But then the downtime extended well into the weekend, and when the servers finally did come back up, there was still a lot of issues actually getting into a game, as there was either some form of queue system which was not evident to players, as they would just try to connect and it would fail without giving some status update that you are 5,000th in line, for instance. But the game was playable offline, so not being able to play online isn't the end of the world. However, more reports started to come in, and with my own experience, we started to realize that the game had far more bugs than one would expect in a fully released game. Now, before we keep going, let me establish that I'm still enjoying Wolcen. I'm still having a lot of fun playing Wolcen. But now, having spent more time with the game and finally being able to play online and seeing that most of the bugs that I'm experiencing are happening while playing online, I can say that while I enjoy the game, I feel that it doesn't feel like a fully released game. It feels more like a beta or a pre-release. It's a tray of brownies that needed a little bit more time in the oven. Now, I've been fortunate that the bugs that I've been running into have not been game-breaking. They've been sometimes frustrating, and a patch released this week that actually resolved a number of issues. But other people have had very bad experiences, game-breaking experiences, experiences that literally bricked their game and made them unable to play until this week's patch, experiences that deleted their inventory or wiped their campaign progress. So I can certainly understand if someone put 100 hours into the game, farmed up a bunch of amazing endgame gear, had that in their stash, and then that all just up and vanished one day. I could only imagine the absolute frustration, and I would totally understand someone wanting to uninstall the game at that point. Again, I've been fortunate that nothing game-breaking happened to me, and it seems other people, especially playing offline, are reporting a relatively bug-free experience, but once you open up the game to 100,000 plus players, all of a sudden, bugs that might have a small chance to occur are happening to a whole lot of people, and when these bugs are major game-breaking bugs, that's a serious problem. Now, outside of the game-breaking bugs, it's also being noted that within the passive skill tree, there are some nodes that aren't working or that don't do anything, others that are overpowered. Some of these are things that one might not even notice during a playthrough. So depending on what build you come up with, it's possible that you don't experience anything negative due to these developer oversights, but it's also possible that you manage to hit upon a number of things that are broken. So because of this, we're now in a situation where some part of the community is saying, I don't get it, I'm having fun, the game seems fine to me, and other people saying, I literally can't play the game. And I think the main problem here is that the devs tried to go for a AAA game release, similar to Diablo 3, when they really should have gone with a full alpha pre-release. You see, Diablo 3, being a AAA game, had a small-scale beta where you can only progress halfway through Act 1 and level 9. Wolcen did something similar where you can play only up to level 20 out of a max of 90, and you can only play Act 1 out of Act 3 and not access a lot of the endgame content or the full passive skill tree. As a consequence, about 75% of the game was not available during the alpha and the beta for players to report feedback on or report bugs. Now, for a AAA company with experience launching games and the ability to leverage an army of QA people to ensure a bug-free experience, this makes sense. But when it's your first game, you're an indie company, this is going to be a big important game launch, I understand that they wanted to keep a big portion of the game and the campaign and the story a surprise, and they were pleasant surprises, yes, but the bugs were unpleasant surprises. So as a consequence, Wolcen doesn't have nearly the level of polish that you would hope from a fully released product. Again, the devs did manage to put out a patch this week, which was a big win because they fixed a number of very large bugs, very large issues. The issue of bricking your game, they fixed that so people can now play again when previously the game would just stop loading for them. They fixed something that for me was my biggest frustration, which was the inability to properly click on items to pick up loot, which was not an issue in pre-release, so it was some bug introduced after release, which is a big part of why I had faith that the devs would be able to fix a number of things that I didn't see as problems in the build they gave me pre-release. But while the patch was a win, we did get a little bit of bad news, along with a blog post. Quote, "First of all, we want to thank you for your patience. It has been a rocky launch, and we clearly weren't expecting that much passion for Wolcen. We know that the connection issues and bugs you currently encounter are frustrating and prevent you from fully appreciating the game, and we want to ensure you that we're doing our best to resolve all these problems as fast as possible. However, following the situation that occurred last Friday with the data loss, we now know that we can't continue to apply hotfixes and patches the way we've always done so. We have to coordinate with our partners to monitor the situation and make sure that we won't encounter any major database issues. We can only perform one patch per week, and we need to coordinate with our partners to push it." That's what's concerning to me. One patch per week means that if they put out a patch and some major game-breaking bug comes out, they cannot react to it until another week later. I would have hoped that for at least the first few weeks of the game, the devs could react with more agility to quickly tackle any major game-breaking bugs, which is arguably what is the most critical time for a game. Now, on February 15th, while the game servers were still down, the devs actually posted a job posting for a QA tester, which will hopefully be a preventative measure for the future. Again, I'm liking Wolcen, I'm having fun with Wolcen, I think the base game is there, but right now it's mired by bugs that are really detracting from the experience for a lot of people, so I feel the way forward for Wolcen right now needs to be priority 1, fix all the bugs. Bring the game to a point of polish where it feels like a fully released product. Then priority 2 would be to start fixing the non-functional nodes in the passive tree. Step 3 would then be to start balancing things, because there are definitely certain nodes that are far more powerful than others. And once those things are done, we're arriving at a point where basically things should have been at launch, where things maybe would have been had the game been in a full pre-release and the whole game being testable by the community. And then what I would do as a step 4 would be to start launching seasons and just sort of consider everything before this a testing period. Again, there have been exploits, there have been a number of issues, so starting with a new season, then it doesn't matter. You don't have to go back and ban people that exploited, that did dupe glitches and gold exploits. You don't have to ban anyone, just consider everything before that non-season and roll forward with season. It's a way of zeroing things out, and then the devs can start with some content drops and move forward off of a healthy base from there. It seems like the devs are on the right track. Again, they put out a patch this week, it fixed some major bugs. It also included some balance passes on some major overpowered issues. But my big concern is, will they be able to put out patches rapidly enough? Only time will tell at this point, but I sincerely hope that this game can recover from this launch, because we need more solid action RPGs. I've been very excited for Wolcen, and I really do want to see it succeed. But it all begs the question, what happened? How did things even get to this point? Why was the game released when it should have been obvious that there were this many bugs and issues? Because there's only one of two possibilities. One is that the devs did not know that there were all these issues, in which case then they very much should have done a full content alpha pre-release to let the community test things. Or the alternative is that they were aware that the game still had some issues, but they were running up against a clock for some reason, had to release the game, and were hoping to be able to fix things rapidly after launch. And I want to explore that second theory. Now, typically when you're not a AAA dev, you don't have some publisher breathing down your neck giving you deadlines to release your game. You have the freedom to do so whenever you want. However, while you don't have an official deadline, you sort of have an unofficial deadline, and that is when the money runs out. So if you'll bear with me, let's do some back of the envelope math as we explore this line of thinking. In mid-2015, this game started off as a successful Kickstarter project, raising roughly 400,000 US dollars, or about 375,000 euros. And we'll stick with euros because the devs are from France. Now, as of right now, sales estimates suggest the game sold between 500,000 to 1 million copies. The game was available for purchase in alpha, so let's estimate that about 100,000 people bought the game at a pre-release price. So let's say about 2 million euros, or about 1.4 million euros after Steam gets its 30% cut. Again, these are very rough estimates just to get a general sense of the scope of the numbers we're dealing with. So between the Kickstarter money and how much money they made throughout the alpha, let's say we're at roughly 1.75 million euros to make this game. That's how much funding they have. That's how much money they have in order to produce this game. Now, how much money does it cost to make a game? Well, I know that one of the biggest expenses when making a game is employee salaries. So let's take a look at the game's employee history over time. In 2014, 4 guys came together to make a Kickstarter demo. By mid-2015, the Kickstarter had successfully ended, and the 4 guys were able to rent out an actual office to get to work on the game full-time. Now, minimum wage in France is about 20,000 euros a year. So let's say that's about how much they needed to survive. So throughout the first year, they needed to spend 80,000 euros on themselves to survive and work on the game. Now, by their second year, mid-2016, the team had grown to 6 members. So let's say another 120,000 euros for the second year. By their third year, mid-2017, the team had reached 13 full-time employees. So that's another 260,000 euros. By their fourth year, 2018, they had, quote, more than 20 employees. So let's just say 25. That's another 500,000 euros. By their fifth year, 2019, they had 33 employees and, quote, more will be joining us in the next months to reinforce the crew. Now, according to LinkedIn and Looking Glass, the team currently has between 11 and 50 employees, so let's say 45. That's another 900,000 euros. So far, our total costs are up to 1.6 million euros. That's a very rough estimate, and that's assuming pay is close to minimum wage, which is not even a very realistic assumption for their additional employees, and it's not even counting the cost of employee benefits like healthcare. And that's literally just salary expenses, not counting any other expenses affiliated with game design. So I think it's safe to assume that the game has cost well over 2 million euros to produce at this point. Now, that 2 million euro estimate is very close to how much money we estimate they had to fund the development. So is it possible that the devs knew that they'd only have money up to a certain point, and at some point needed to release the game in order to have an extra injection of funds to really finish and polish what they had? I don't know. It's just a theory. But I do wonder what would happen if they delayed the launch another 6 months, for instance. What happens when there's no more money? What happens when you can't pay salaries anymore? Would the game have just been canceled? Would they have had to try to find a publisher? Now again, this is just a theory and I could be completely off with my numbers. Maybe the devs had enough money for another 5 years of development, I don't know. But I will extend an open invitation to the devs if they ever would like to discuss things. Alright, on to some Diablo news. The Diablo 3 Season 20 PTR has ended. Season 19 will be ending March 1st, so it's possible that Season 20 may be starting on Friday the 13th of March, or a little less likely, the 6th of March. In other Diablo news, we have new confirmation or pseudo-confirmation that a Diablo Netflix series is in the works. Now, this still comes via a leak, but it's a pretty damn legitimate leak when the leak is the co-president of Activision Blizzard, Nick Van Dyke. On his LinkedIn profile, he has added, quote, executive producer of Diablo, a TV adaptation of Blizzard Entertainment's IP rendered in anime style. The show is currently in pre-production for distribution worldwide through Netflix. And what's most striking to me is that he is not taking this down. This has been in his profile for a number of days, and you'd think this is not how Blizzard would want to announce the existence of a Diablo Netflix series. But that's not his only spoiler. His profile also states, quote, with my creative partner, developed and sold an animated series based on Blizzard's Overwatch franchise. That's a 2-for-1 on leaks right there. So I believe now we can say with pretty firm certainty that there is a Diablo Netflix series in the works. We've spoken about such rumors in the past. Now, it was originally in summer 2018 that the rumor emerged, that a Diablo Netflix series was in the works with Andy Cosby as the show writer. Not long after, Andy Cosby himself took to Twitter and stated, quote, "I guess I can confirm I am indeed in final talks to write and showrun the new Diablo animated series for Activision and Netflix. It's very exciting and I hope to the high heavens it all works out." He then promptly deleted the tweet, probably realizing that Blizzard would want to make that announcement themselves. But since then, we hadn't heard a peep about the Netflix series, and we wondered, was it cancelled? Was Andy Cosby let go because of this slip-up? Well, now we know for sure that the series is still happening. We know for sure that it is going to be anime style, which I'm guessing means similar to the Castlevania Netflix animated series, which has been very positively received. But I suppose we're still unsure whether Andy Cosby will be the showrunner. Now, Cosby was the only credited screenplay writer of 2019's Hellboy, which was a disaster of a film, receiving negative critic reviews and performing very poorly at the box office. In fact, the film was nominated for the Razzie Award for Worst Screenplay. So while that does seem concerning, Cosby does, however, appear to be a fan of the dark and the gruesome, which is promising for a Diablo series. He also is the co-creator of the hit sci-fi TV series Eureka, so that's also positive news. Ultimately, I'm glad to know that the series is still in the works, and I look forward to more details emerging. And that's going to wrap up this week's video, but do be sure to check out last week's video, in which we go over the updated Season 20 patch notes for Diablo 3. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube supporters for making these videos possible.
I can't do that yet. Not ready yet. It's too far away. I can't do that yet. Not enough energy. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet.
Hey folks, this is Riker, and I'd like to thank you all for joining us for a very special presentation right now. Joining us today are three individuals that are largely responsible for each and every single one of us being here today. Yeah. So for the benefit of the three of you who don't know who these individuals are, we'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm David Brevik.
Max Schaefer and Eric Schaefer.
We're brothers.
So we have with us the founders of Blizzard North, the creators of Diablo, and the action RPG genre as we know it. We're going to have a little conversation today, some Q&A. If you folks have questions, we encourage you to send those in. I'll be able to look through them, filter them. But in the meantime, we'll just get chatting. And one thing that I'd like to know from you three, over the past 2 decades of action RPGs, what do you feel have been some of the greatest innovations that you've seen?
Wow.
Yeah, you know, every game comes with its own special flavor and its own innovations, and I think that's why we're still talking about it 20 years later. You know, there's the things that they all kind of share, which makes us all comfortable playing with them, but every one has its own unique thing. You know, right when we started was at the beginning of the internet gaming era, as we now know it, where you just click on and you're playing with everyone in the world. And you know, I think we're still figuring out the best way to make it a social experience and to play with each other. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of innovations I'm forgetting, but I almost think the genre is more about iteration. And it's just like, you could definitely see it with PoE here. So, you know, take the basis and just iterate and build and create really cool stuff. So there probably are innovations I'm completely forgetting, but that's not how I kind of think of it.
Now let's take a look into the future. Crystal ball, in 20 years from now, what do you think the action RPG genre is going to look like?
Wow. Well, there's so many places you can take it at this point. You know, I think we're just scratching the surface of the genre still. There's, you know, competitive modes that I think can be integrated into the experience without really fundamentally changing it. I still think that every time I play an ARPG, I want to know who would win in a fight between me and another guy. But, you know, I think fundamentally what makes an ARPG is, you know, sort of the camera view and the controls and the things that kind of that are common between all of them. And so I would hope that that's kind of still there. It's what distinguishes us from the rest of the video game world. So, you know, obviously 20 years from now, we'll have lots better graphics, better sound. You know, who knows what will be. We joke about in the future, there'll be, you won't have a mouse and keyboard. It'll be some sort of gel ball that will be too old to know how to do anything with it. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to go that way, but I think I think in terms of more sandboxy, more survivally, that's what I think in terms of my next ARPG will kind of look like. Yeah, I would discount like VR and augmented reality and stuff like that. I think people.
That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. Energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not enough energy.
Tyson Fury, his first professional fight, and just how good is he going to look? Fury just 20 years old, and you can see a giant of a man. He's been boxing almost as long as he can remember. His dad was Gypsy John Fury, fought Henry Akinwande back in the 1990s, Steve Garber as well. And he got married, did Tyson, on the 21st of November, and his new wife Paris is sitting at ringside. They've just got back from their honeymoon on the Algarve, so what a celebration this would be if he could start with a victory here tonight. He'll be nervous, so
that'd be fantastic for him. Obviously he would have nerves, this being his first fight, but what a fantastic name, Tyson Fury. Let's hope he can back it up.
His dad, John, is standing at ringside, or was. Just taking his seat now. The blonde-haired girl in the middle there. That is Paris, Mrs. Fury.
Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy.
And he is the reigning ABA super heavyweight champion. Beat Damien Campbell of Retson in the final. And as you heard, he was overlooked in favour of David Price for the Olympics, and that is something he is annoyed about. He thinks he could have taken the Olympic gold medal.
Well, and you can see why. He's very, very confident. You know, this being obviously his first fight, but you know, already getting to work with both hands. Very rare you see a guy of his size, his stature, working body in their first fight, but this is a good onslaught.
Good body shots from Fury, and he's trying to produce a spectacular performance here on his opening fight of his professional career. Well, left hand goes in, and Dunyashi is in trouble. He really felt the power of that left hook. Well, he's getting to his feet, but I'm not sure he wants too much of it. And Howard Foster says no more. And Fury has started with a punches together well. He's going to have far sterner tests ahead, but he did everything that was required.
Well, he did exactly what was required, what was needed. Nice little combination to finish this. Little 1-2, one to the head, and then look where he looks for the body shot. Didn't quite land as flushy as he would have liked, but the momentum of the shot was enough.
Dad and brother standing looking appreciatively as he landed these shots, and that left hook that finished it was a quality shot. Young giant of a heavyweight, is he going to be a big, big name for years to come? I don't know. Well, we will see. He's certainly got the right sort of name. Tyson Fury, named after the man his father really admired, and promoter Mick Hennessy looks a happy guy, doesn't he?
Well, this fella's had 4 fights in just 4 months. It's been a wonderful start to your professional career, but you're back at a venue, the York Hall, that means a lot to you.
Yeah, York Hall's home of the boxing in the London area, so it's just amazing to box back here. Won the ABAs here in 2008, and I'm out to impress the fans like I did when I won the ABAs.
So what's your challenge tonight? Matthew Ellis, very experienced. How tough is this going to be for you?
Matthew Ellis is experienced, whatever, but so the rest of them have been, and I handled them okay, so it shouldn't be any reason why I can't handle Matthew as well.
That's big talk. Are you out to end this again inside the distance?
Well, if it comes, it comes, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not going to rush anything, and I'm happy that he's boxed me, really, because I've been finding it hard to get opponents, so see what happens in the ring.
You look ready. Well, you look lean.
Well, I've been training hard, so I'm ready as I'm ever going to be. It's no excuses if I lose.
Well, Matthew, this fellow Tyson Fury is getting a lot of critical acclaim, a lot of hype. What have you made of him?
Yeah, he's he's a good kid. He's done well in the amateurs, so far. He's done good as a pro. Hopefully tonight we can, I'm going to upset the apple cart, and we're going to do the business.
Well, they say not too many have been able to actually make an attempt to go at him. Can you do that tonight? Can you change that tonight?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, he's done well as an amateur, and I think tonight he's took a step up to the ladder a bit too much. I think, tonight I've got a lot of experience behind me, and trained hard for it, so hopefully we're going to go for it.
But how do you get near someone that big?
I've got a step ladder. I'm messing, no step ladder. I'm just going to, like I said, experience, and I'm going to rush him, just keep the head moving and getting close and work him inside. I don't think he can fight inside. He likes it on the outside. So we're going to, see what he's made of.
Thank you.
No problem, thank you.
Well, has he stepped too far up the ladder? One thing is certain, if Tyson Fury does fall off the ladder, the Bethnal Green Arena will shake. Let's return to our MC, Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now at this time, let's welcome to the ring from Blackpool, Matthew Ellis.
Hey, you! Don't touch that! Watch this! This is the heavy, heavy monster sound! One step beyond!
Once upon a time, Matthew Ellis used to walk to the ring in a tuxedo. Saw himself as a bit of a James Bond figure. Well, the heartthrob of Blackpool, that's a few years back. But my word, if he could produce something tonight, he'd certainly putting a spanner in the works in the great ambitions and hopes for Tyson Fury. Saw him earlier on and said, what's the tactics? He said, I brought my step ladder. But you know that he'll go in there and he'll land big punches, or he'll try to. He's an aggressive fighter, and certainly in his younger days he was a noted puncher, but he is hugely physically outweighed and dwarfed here tonight. Only stands around about 6 foot. And Fury, as we've heard and as we've seen, is a huge man. 6'9" of him, just waiting now to make his entrance.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the ring from Manchester, Tyson Fury.
Here's Big Tyson. He's becoming a very familiar figure around the British boxing scene. here tonight in his 5th professional fight. He certainly couldn't be accused of not keeping busy. Only made his debut back in December. Last time out, exerted his particular brand of fury on Lincolnshire battler Lee Swaby. Is he going to be able to replicate that against Matthew Ellis? Look how tall he is. That lad by his side in the red tie, I can tell he is not a small bloke. And here, over the top rope, not too many can do that. If I tried to do that, I'd do myself a nasty duke.
I think you and me both, I could do that over the bottom rope.
Tyson Fury ready now. He's got his uncle alongside him as ever, his trainer Hughie Fury. Referee Dave Parris having a few words, and now they will be formally introduced to the crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues with the big boys of boxing. 6 rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing silver trunks with black trim and weighed in at 14 stone, 7 pounds. Hailing from Blackpool, his record consists of 20 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, with 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Matthew Ellis. And his opponent fighting tonight out of the red corner, he's wearing green trunks with white and weighed in at 18 stone, 1 pound, 8 ounces. Coming to us from Manchester, he was the 2008 ABA Senior Super Heavyweight Champion and 2008 ABA Senior Super Heavyweight Champion, and now as a professional, he is undefeated with 4 wins, and all 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Tyson Fury. Our referee in charge is Dave Parris. 6 rounds scheduled, heavyweights.
Okay, boys, you both know the rules. We're not the knuckle part of the glove. If one of you goes down, then we've got the further suit to combat. Break when I tell you to. Defend yourself at all times. Shake hands, boys. Good luck to you both.
Matthew Ellis was knocked out in a couple of rounds by Audley Harrison not so long back. Similarly by Enzo Macronelli.
Seconds out.
But he can
First
punch.
round.
Has he got the ambition to make it an awkward night here for Tyson Fury? Plenty of young talent in the heavyweight division in this country. And Fury trying to show that he's the best of them.
For some strange reason, Ellis just decided to walk in. He just decided to walk straight into the firing line, take Fury's best punches, and that's the result.
The theory was that he can't fight off the back foot. Well, he had his man trapped in the corner, landed a flurry of punches, and down he went. I think he's going to do well to get through this opening round.
Well, if you're going to walk into the firing line, you're going to get nailed. And that's exactly what's happened. What did he expect?
Caught by another big right hand. I don't think he's going to want too much more. It may be that it's going to finish right here. He's had enough. Matthew Ellis has been...
Ladies and gentlemen, right now at this time, let's welcome to the ring from Riga in Latvia, Alexanders Selezins.
Range. That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough energy.
Out 2 and weighs around 18 stone. I don't think John would be too impressed at the comparison in physique, though. There's a Tyson Fury fan. Unleash the Fury. I'm sure he intends to do exactly that.
Need to get closer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the ring from Manchester, Tyson Fury.
Coming into Thriller. exactly the moonwalk, but enjoying the reception he's getting from an increasing army of fans. Not done too much wrong in his professional career so far. The skeptics say they want to see him hit on the chin, and also that they want to see if he can fight off the back foot. Well, we will see. He's a big lad, isn't he? Walks over that top rope and almost demolishes his trainer and Uncle Huey. Stands just shy of 6'9" and still undefeated.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues with the big boys of boxing. 6 rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing to you first to my left in the blue corner. He's wearing blue trunks with white trim and weighed in at 17 stone, 13 pounds. Coming to us from Riga in Latvia. His record consists of 3 wins, 6 losses, and 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alexander Selezins. And his opponent across the ring tonight, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing black trunks and weighed in at 18 stone, 8 pounds. Hailing from Manchester, he was the 2008 ABA Senior Super Heavyweight Champion, and now as a professional, he is undefeated with 6 wins, and all 6 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Tyson Fury. 6 rounds says that our referee in charge is Mark Green.
Not enough energy. Don't have enough energy.
Spoke to you both in the dressing rooms. Remember, I tell you to break, you break quickly, you break cleanly, you protect yourself all the time. You got that? You got that? Let's go. 6-3.
All Tyson Fury's fights have ended inside the distance, and he's got that English title fight, a 10-rounder coming up against John McDermott, which is being scheduled for a date in September. What can he do tonight against Alexander Selezins? No danger about mistaking who's who. Fury slightly the larger man. Carrying a bit of luggage himself around the waist.
Yeah, I think that Fury is going to take some holding at domestic level.
Well, he'd like to fight Derek Chisora, he'd like to fight Sam Sexton, he'd like to fight Martin Rogan and prove that he's #1 right now. He might just get the chance if he beats McDermott.
Well, that's a much more even money fight. But again, I'll reiterate what I've already said. At domestic level, British title level, I think this guy is going to take a lot of holding.
Selezins in his 10th professional fight, he's never been stopped.
There's a first time for everything, John.
He's fought in Ireland, in Finland, in Germany, in Poland.
It's too far away. Ready yet. I can't do that. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that.
Well, that's a good right hand from Fury. Selezins wanting to hold on. Fairly unedifying sort of exchanges at the moment. Selezins hell bent on giving it a bit of an octopus approach and holding at every opportunity.
Yeah, he's doing a good job right now of just spoiling what Fury's trying to do. Fury realizes he has his measure already. Just content to wait for the opportunity to land the precise shot.
Only made his debut last December, Tyson. His hardest fight so far, hard to say really. There's that guy, the German who turned up in a kilt, Marcel Zeller. He gave it a good shot. And the old hard man from Lincoln, Lee Swaby, he hung around for 4 rounds and took Tyson's licks. So most of the others have been pretty facile, including his last performance, a victory inside 2 rounds against the big Irishman Scott Belshaw. Well, he's having to fight off the back foot there and teed off with a couple of decent shots.
Yeah, they hurt. I don't think Salazens is going to be around for much longer. You know, he's supposed to be a durable opponent.
Let's see what Huey Fury, Uncle Huey, is saying to Tyson.
Let him get close to you when you don't need to. Put your left hand out. Don't jab with it, extend it. Like they do in East Country. Hold him on the end of it, chest high. If he goes to move around it, use your right hand. If he dips under, right uppercut, okay? Don't fight in close. Move him around with your left hand, okay? Work him up the centre with uppercuts. Listen to me.
What do you reckon, Duke? Sound words of advice?
Yeah, it sounds pretty good to me. Wish I could understand it, but it sounds pretty good.
No, I meant what Huey Fury was saying, for goodness sake. I know you don't speak Russian. A small snapshot for you at home as to what it's like working with this guy.
That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough energy.
Into the second round of this 6-rounder.
Not enough energy.
And Fury winning it pretty much as he wants at the moment.
Enough energy.
He's been told to hold that jab out in Klitschko fashion and just snake it out, as he is doing now.
I don't have enough energy. That ability isn't ready yet. Ready.
Well, Fury much too good for Salazens.
Oh, that was a little reminder.
The exercise of this fight will be to see if this guy can take Fury a few rounds. Or even possibly the whole way.
Strange things can happen in boxing, Duke. It only takes one shot.
Yes.
I suspect this fella's not got the one that's necessary, but you never know.
I just caught him on the blind side there, so he might get one of them home.
I don't have enough energy.
Salazens is quite happy to have a big swing, isn't he?
Well, that's good. I mean, we need to find out what Fury's all about. You know, it's good that he hasn't already visited the canvas. He's still standing, he's still trying. He isn't any Charles Atlas, but you know, he's got some heart and a bit of determination.
We're seeing some gripping and dramatic contests here at the York Hall tonight, and Fury would need to go some to emulate that. I'm sure he'd like to be putting his punches together a little bit better than he is right now.
I think Fury's a little bit disinterested in his mind, in his mindset.
Well, you certainly get the impression he's not fighting through fear. Trying to go to work to the body and bring up 1 or 2 uppercuts, and suddenly Salazens looks a bit unsteady as we reach the final seconds of this second round. Never been stopped, remember? But they've talked in grandiose terms about Fury being a man for a very much higher level than this, and he'll look to be wanting to get this slightly roly-poly heavyweight from the Baltic out of this fight before too much further. Here's some of the action from the second round, such as it was, and he was certainly staggered in those closing seconds. Combination of the uppercut and the left hook.
Well, you know, you would expect Tyson to start delivering more uppercuts with the much shorter of opponent who was technically very, very limited.
You understand what? You understand that, right? Don't move. If he presses against you, step around. Okay? Try and use some angles on him and tee off or pick up, trick him on the side of the head and everything. Okay? Pick him, but use your jab after you finish to keep him out. Okay? Try turning southpaw, see if you can handle that.
Seconds out, round 3.
Into the third of a 6-rounder. Not a hard one to score. 2 rounds to Tyson Fury.
These kind of fights prove to be quite hard in your own mind. You know, if you come down to your opponent's level.
Salazan's bravely going forward and trying to land those big right out. Oh, he's been hurt by a body shot. I think it's looking for a comfortable part of the canvas time before too much further. Salazan's very much at 6s and 7s, and yep, I think that'll be the end of it. Well, he's got up, but whether he wants to continue is another matter. Are you okay? He says yes. I think he is. The white flag of surrender is being fluttered by the corner. The towel has been raised. Salazans is out of there. And I have to say that that fight proved absolutely nothing about the capabilities of Tyson Fury. He will go in against John McDermott in a few weeks' time, who is an altogether more capable and accomplished performer. There's Dad John, who I think would have also been too much for Alexander Salazans, even at 45 or whatever he is. Tyson Fury winning that one with ridiculous ease. He won't learn a lot about what John McDermott can produce through that fight, except what it's like to have a bloke of 18 stone or thereabouts and 6'2" and not in this case, a man in particularly good condition in front of him. It was a body shot followed by an uppercut, but it was the body shot which had him wincing with pain, Duke.
Well, to be fair to Fury, you know, we've seen him hurt guys with body shots before, so that was probably the most impressive thing which he displayed again tonight. But other than that, I don't want to be too critical. I lost the performance, but you know, the bigger test is obviously going to be coming around over the next few weeks.
Yep, one for the future. Tyson Fury gets win number 7, but I very much doubt whether those who've packed your call tonight are going to be talking.
Tyson Fury is Britain's next big heavyweight hope, but nearly 6 feet 9 inches tall. He's knocked out all 7 opponents so far. Tonight he faces his first real test against English champion John McDermott. Experienced, tough and skillful. Can he impress on home soil? We are live from Essex tonight as John McDermott defends his English heavyweight title against a man who's really been making headlines, the exciting 21-year-old Tyson Fury. Well, the two fighters arrived a little earlier tonight. Tyson Fury chasing the English title in only his 8th professional fight. Has it come too soon? Looks in bullish mood. Mind your head, son.
I need to get closer.
John McDermott operated at a much higher level. A home fixture for him from just down the road in Horndon.
Not enough energy.
And the crowds have turned out in force. Good support. An expectant crowd here at the impressive Brentwood Centre. And there is hardly a seat to be had in the house.
I don't have enough energy.
Hi there, good evening. On Friday Fight Night, it's time to unleash the Fury as we bring you a man who's quite literally one of the biggest heavyweight hopes around. Glenn McCrory and Johnny Nelson always on the lookout for boxing's next major attraction, but is Fury as good as he thinks he is? We'll also bring you the best of a bumper bill, more heavyweight action, including Tom Dallas looking for a 7th straight win. Larry Oliver.
Heavyweight sensation Tyson Fury's a young man in a big hurry.
I do believe I can be the best in the world and world heavyweight champion, so just need to prove it.
But has Fury jumped the gun, picking a fight with big bad John McDermott after just 7 contests?
I'm the man, the chump.
To be honest, the worst thing he's done is call me muffin. That's the worst thing he's done, so I've trained like a maniac. You know, I've lived in an hole for 6 weeks, get away from my family, I've done nothing but train. So it's the worst thing he's done was to call me that.
The man, the McMuffin. I know I've been giving him a lot of stick saying he's a big Mac and all that, but it's a big step up compared to the lads I've been fighting, so I'll see if they're the real deal or not.
Despite the bravado, there's certainly pressure on Fury's broad shoulders in his first top-of-the-bill fight.
This fight it's everything to me, really. It's not just an English title fight, it's my life, really. If I don't feel like I knock someone out or I put them down on the canvas, then I've disappointed everybody.
McDermott's fought in a much higher class and was considered unlucky not to dethrone British champion Danny Williams in their first meeting.
Look, man, I went 24 rounds with Danny Williams, one of the biggest punchers in Britain, never shook me once.
McDermott's British class and I'm world class, so that's the difference.
So will Fury's knockout run continue, or will McDermott bring him back down to earth with a bang?
I'm going to push him, I keep pushing him until I burst him.
Going to give him what for? We'll put him into retirement, I think.
Smiling assassin there, Tyson Fury. Glenn, can he live up to the hype?
You know, if confidence is anything to go by, you've got to give him a really good chance because he really believes in himself. And for somebody so inexperienced, so young, to be saying what he's saying, he's got to back it up.
How much have we learned about him so far, Johnny?
Very confident, very cocksure of himself. He's got a mischievous thing about him. He's young, but he believes in himself. I sparred with him before. He will not be pressured into doing anything he doesn't want to do in sparring. And this is just recent.
What does he do well, Glenn?
You know, he's got a very good jab. You've got to respect his size. It's a great start, but he's also athletic with that size, so he uses his jab. He can punch well to the body for a big man. So, you know, he's got all the tools.
How big a test is it, though, against John McDermott?
This is a massive test. Fury's only had done 60 rounds. McDermott's done 125 professional rounds. He knows he's mixed it at top domestic level.
Yeah, McDermott unlucky not to be a British champion.
No, you know, this is it's a massive jump for Fury. McDermott is a good fighter who can box, who can punch, and we'll find out if Tyson Fury's the real deal.
He seems up for this as well. Confidence has been an issue with him.
Confidence has been an issue, but I'd be insulted, I'd be frustrated that they're putting a young man in of 7 fights, 7 wins against a man of 30 fights.
So who will win? Will it be John McDermott? Will it be Tyson Fury? One man with a lot of interest in this, David Hay, ringside heavyweight date of his own to look forward to. Friday fight nights in high definition this season. You can catch the action right now. Sky Sports HD2, that's channel 409. Your commentary team, Jim Watt and Adam Smith, after our MC, Gary Logan.
Ready. Good evening, Fight fans, and a warm welcome to viewers at home. Join us live and exclusive here on Sky Sports Friday Fight Night from the Brentwood Centre here in Essex. You now join us for our feature presentation. Please welcome first into the ring the challenger from Manchester, Tyson Fury.
Wonderful atmosphere, high expectations. Is this the new heavyweight hope for British boxing? He was born 7 weeks premature in August 1988. Tyson Fury, just a shade now past his 21st birthday, now stands at almost 6'9". Size and strength, and a background rooted deep in travelling stock. Has he got what it takes? Not lacking confidence, is he? 7 quick-fire wins. Time to find out more, Jim, as he enters his toughest test yet.
Well, I can't think about a British heavyweight in recent history who looked any better than Fury after 7 fights. He's very tall, he's athletic, he's quick, and he's certainly powerful. And I always admire fighters who put themselves on the line with their mouth and then have to back that up. And you can see confidence here. It certainly doesn't lack it. Is it misplaced? We're about to find out. This is a huge step. But the way he's blasted through the lower level fighters, I feel he's ready for it.
He's loving every minute. And it's great to see.
need to get
And
closer.
now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring your champion from Honda, John McDermott.
Do that. Ability isn't ready yet. Ready yet.
Plenty of support back home in Essex, the competent, organised Big John McDermott. Entering his 10th professional season, still something of a boxing enigma, but he's angry about the insults from Tyson Fury. He's got plenty of heart. Big question marks over the mental makeup, but he's got the experience. Could he put it all together for one electric performance?
Yeah, well, I think confidence has always been a problem.
Is in favour of Tyson Fury, one of the biggest in world boxing. McDermott has been around the British scene for a long time. 30-7, huge gulf there, but 100% knockout ratio for Tyson Fury, albeit at junior level, and that is why he is 6-1 on favourite. 7-2 if you want McDermott, and they fancy it to go short, not towards points.
Your next contest is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Your steward in charge, Mr. Phil Lundgren. Your medical supervisor is Dr. Uta. The timekeeper is Mr. Bob Edgeworth. When the action begins, your third man in the ring will be your referee from Birmingham, Terry O'Connor. And now, Fight fans, live on Sky Sports Friday Fight Night, Frank Maloney Promotions in association with your proud sponsors, StanJames.com, Red Square Vodka, CYC, and Tie-Dye Hair Products proudly present 10 3-minute rounds of boxing for the Heavyweight Championship of England. We go firstly to the red corner where we have your challenger, wearing the black trunks with white trim. He comes from Manchester and weighs in at 17 stones, 9 pounds. He enters the ring with an undefeated 7-fight professional record, 7 wins. All 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome Tyson Fury. And we go across the ring to the blue corner where we have your champion. Wearing the blue and white trunks, he fights out of Horndon and weighs in at 18 stones, 1 pound. He enters the ring with an impressive 30-fight professional record, 25 wins, 16 of those wins coming by way of knockout against only 5 defeats. Please welcome Big John McDermott. This is 10 3-minute rounds. Boxers, please.
Here we go. We both know the rules of sports here. When a side break, I want it straight away. Shake hands, best of luck to both.
Plenty of fighters here tonight as well for this fascinating crossroads encounter for the English heavyweight title. John McDermott won it with a blow out of Pele Reid, but how will he cope with the unbeaten young Tyson Fury? Is Fury really the future? Is he worthy of all the hype? What about his chin? How hard does he hit? Many questions to be answered. We're going to find out more, Jim.
Yep, and I think John McDermott's the man to help us find out. McDermott has a decent defence, but he's going to have to use that to get close. A little bit reckless here from McDermott. He's maybe too keen to make an early impression. Has to think defensively to get used to the length of that jab Fury possesses.
Some naivety there from McDermott, although he lands a decent right hand, and Fury's long range and hand speed getting to work. He needs to close that range down, McDermott, try and smother Fury.
Well, he showed a nice little feint there and draws the lead. You don't stand off and wait for someone with a jab that length to throw when they want to throw. You feint at them, threaten, draw the lead when they're not ready to throw, then you have a chance of countering. But he's landed a good right hand already, McDermott.
There's that jab of Fury, one of his big weapons. McDermott was blown away in 79 seconds by Matt Skelton. Right hands, and they're trading very early.
McDermott's getting close, and that was the big question. How long would it take him to get close? He's landed a couple of big right hands already. So already he's asking questions of Fury. Fury's used to having things pretty much his own way throughout his career so far. How will he cope if that changes?
They're really niggled by the attention on Fury in the build-up. John McDermott feels he's been overlooked. He's won 25 of 30 and proved his merits on the British scene, especially with the last two fights against Danny Williams.
Well, McDermott's making him work. He's staying on him, not allowing him to control the pace. He's quite keen to get the right hand off. Fury's jab's working, but there's not a lot of smoothness in his boxing yet. Not used to this kind of pressure.
Blood and
Interesting,
thunder.
McDermott trying to take Fury out of a rhythm. And he'll know a couple of the tricks. The knowledge is with McDermott.
Go forth to victory.
McDermott prepared to take chances, and that's what you have to do with a fella this size, with these physical advantages.
It's a positive start, this, from John McDermott. One or two people felt he might freeze with the pressure. So he's locked himself away for weeks in a hole to train for this. Good shots from McDermott, and Fury is in a fight for the first time. And look at that from McDermott.
He is not used to this kind of pressure, Fury. Grabbing the heads.
Narcissus at the bell.
No.
McDermott in with a head. And
That
he's
was
having
Fury's
it ticking
fault,
off.
Adam.
But Terry O'Connor has gone into that corner.
Yeah, well, McDermott reacted badly, but it was Fury's fault. He started that.
Now Terry O'Connor's in the other corner. There's the needle, and McDermott is really wound up.
Don't put about itching and be gone.
Well, relaxing now, right?
What a great atmosphere about this one, Jim.
Yeah, I'm really. See, that was Fury. Just Fury rubbed the head in, which was wrong. McDermott said, he reacted badly. So probably the referee felt he was the worst offender, but I think Fury was the one that kicked that off. But that's the needle we knew they would both bring into the ring tonight.
Second round, the blue and white of John McDermott. The black of Tyson Fury, and Terry O'Connor already saying, calm down. Let's make this clean. Fury trying to get the jab going. Can McDermott just negate that physical advantage that the Manchester fighter possesses? That's key, Jim.
Yeah, well, it's the jab. The Fury was pretty accurate and busy with the jab in the opening round, but I think you need more than that to win these contests. McDermott probably threw the better punches, and he's able to get close immediately, and I thought that may be his big problem, but obviously not.
McDermott defence, good uppercut from Fury.
How will Fury react if he's facing a man who can take his punches? Nothing wrong with McDermott's chin.
Absolutely. There were personal problems going into the Skelton fight. It's the only time it's ever happened. He showed a good chin against Danny Williams, McDermott.
Well, that was a full-blooded right hand from Fury. He's taken it and he's still walking forward. Fury boxing better this round. He's finding a bit of space. Oh, good left hook from McDermott.
Yeah, right from Fury. But a left in return from McDermott, who's also got 16 knockouts in his 25 wins. Good action in these first two rounds, and McDermott feeling confident.
McDermott's left hook was bang on the chin. He's coming through Fury's punches. This has never happened to Fury before.
Remember, a big underdog going into this, John McDermott, despite the pedigree. Gum shield out. Is Fury ready for this?
Well, I mean, he's reacted well, he's taken full-blooded shots. But I mean, he is in at the deep end, and I think that's beginning to dawn on him. It's difficult when you've had things pretty much your own way. Good right hand again.
McDermott is finding the target. He might have lost his last couple, but he is really revved up for this one. He's got hold of the middle of the ring, and he is backing Fury up.
He's trying to deny Fury the room to get the long punches off. It's working.